everyone, and welcome to the special edition of our HR podcast. We are here at the Shift Happens, our annual HR conference here in our HR. And today we're really thrilled that we have our special guest here on our conference and on our podcast, and that is Silvia Zanella.
Thank you for hosting me.
It's really our pleasure.
Thank you.
Sylvia, Sylvia is, let me just say, she's coming here from Italy, and she's a manager and also an author. She published, I believe, 2 and 3rd book is coming soon.
Actually 7.
Oh, it's 7.
It's 7. It's my 7th one. And I also, I'm in charge of management book area with 11 titles there. So I'm pretty much into the idea of promoting a good culture of work.
Amazing, amazing. It's really great to have you here. Okay, so among many other things, Sylvia, you are a future of work strategist. Maybe we should get one thing firstly sorted out. Should we be scared about the future of work?
Well, it's always strange to be perceived or appointed as future of work strategist, because literally I think no one has an idea, me neither. So, but it's a very interesting area to work in. I think it's one of the most intriguing period to think about humans and to think about work. So I've been studying work. I've been in the field of work since 25 years now, and it has always been changing. Now what has changed again is the rhythm and the pace of the change. But basically, we are not being programmed to stay as we are. We have been programmed to evolve. Mm-hmm. The only thing that is a little bit tricky is that this request for change is very demanding. So I don't think we should be scared as long as we keep the governance of this change and we do not allow others to have the governance. And I think we don't have to be scared as long as we keep our own peace, our own rhythm. So I tend to be always very optimistic because I think that we are the author of our destiny. And we should also take care of the destiny of others in case we are HR and in case we are people who manage other people. So we have a big responsibility. But we should not be scared. I don't think so.
Amazing. I really like the idea of being the author of actually and owning the change. You said that we should, of course, as an HR, we always think about others as well. So can you tell me how can we encourage employees in these times?
So HR and managers and entrepreneur and everyone who has responsibility over other people, including parents and including caregivers, have huge responsibility at this point in time. And I think that, as usual, it's very important to, on one side, accompany people through the change, but on the other side, also let them feel and experiment the change themselves. I mean, I have no receipt. I have no idea, as I said before, what's going to happen because I try to be very honest intellectually, so I cannot really tell what's going to happen. But I have certain patterns in mind because I've seen them many times in the organization. And like me, also many other HR professionals knows how things work in the company. The kind of leap we need to do is to try to see and to forecast how this leap, how this change is going to happen next time, and then get the psychological security that people need in order to be able to fail, be able to experiment, to pilot, maybe sometimes to do well and some other times not to do well. And being also able to create their own solutions and making all things together. It's a nice exercise, it's a difficult one, but I really think we have, for the first time probably, the possibility to make our job, make our work environment more human because it will be based on our extreme needs.
And also, AI is, of course, one of the biggest subjects at the moment. And I think one of the biggest reasons for that fear that you mentioned, that we all have at some point, or at least uncertainty, not only fear. And it's definitely shaping future as work as one of the largest change forces. How do you think AI as a force will impact our everyday work?
So basically, you were mentioning before my next book is coming out, actually next week, and it's called, it's in Italian, I'm sorry. It's called Intelligenza, which is quite easy because it's intelligence. And I wrote it together with a technology writer and journalist, very famous in Italy, writing for Il Sole 24 Ore, Luca Tremolada. And together, we try to see, okay, I am the technician, I'm the techno guy, he is the techno guy, I'm the people person. So how do these things come together? And it was a very nice exercise, the one we did over the last few months, because we have been working on it since November. And then we decided, okay, let's put it together. And the kind of things we think it's important to say is that there is another intelligence that is coming, which is called artificial intelligence. It's not properly an intelligence, technically speaking, or there are different interpretations. But okay, let's say it's an intelligence. What kind of other intelligence do I need to put into place in order for people to be more reactive, less worried about it, and more productive in the end? Because that's the job of our HR role, not just to have people happy, which of course it's very important, but also to have productive organizations. So I think that it's important to have emotional intelligence, flexibility intelligence, capability intelligence. So you need to activate some intelligences that you put somehow in your drawer. You put them there because there were processes, because there was Excel, because there were algorithms. And the paradox is that now there are even more algorithms, even more, let's say, technical possibilities. But again, it's the ownership that counts. It's how you program them. It's how you write the prompt. It's how you interpret the data. It's how you take the time to pause for a moment and say, I have something that is giving me a random response in 1 second. Is it really the case? Or should I pause for a moment, break up a moment and say, how is it that I have this problem? How can I deconstruct the problem? How could I deconstruct the process? And finally see what we can do better. And this can only be human because we are the only ones living the company. I mean, the artificial intelligence has millions of encyclopedias and books and texts and solutions, but they don't know the exact problem I have here. They give very interesting and very good stuff, to be honest, very good stuff. And they are helpful. I mean, I use them all the time and I'm so happy that they arrived. But still, I want to have the privilege to break a moment with my team and say, okay, this is what they are saying to us, but does it apply to our situation? And how can we do it better? So it's also a form of mentoring for me because it comes from a neutral response that could be whatever because it's statistical. On the other side, it's me and my team say, okay, let's think of that and let's build on that.
I think, Sylvia, after this, we will definitely have to get some publisher in Serbia for this book.
I will be more than happy.
I think it's the right moment.
To put you in touch with my...
After this answer, we will definitely have to get at least one publisher and someone to translate the book into Serbian.
I will be more than happy to come again then.
And we would be happy to host you again as well. I think one of the biggest questions, reskilling and upskilling is definitely one of the biggest questions also right now. What do you think, what competencies should we seek in order to be up to our role at the work and our role at the work in the future, actually?
I think it's very important to make sure that you have enough agentic capital, which means having the flexibility, the business acumen, the possibility to change your mind, the possibility to remix the elements that you have to adapt, but not in a reactive way, but in a very proactive way. So being sure that shift happens, and it will always happen, and it is like this. I mean, we don't have many other alternatives. So shift happens, and we need to be rudders. We need to keep all the signals of this shift and try to predict how to handle it better. So you really need to have people who are somehow future work strategists in their little role or in their big role, and just making sure that they are able to take the signals and to interpret them correctly and to put on other and new solutions.
Amazing. Sylvia, one last quick question for the end. We see that shift happens. What to do next?
Oh, it's a big one. I think that anyhow we're going to have fun because having to do with people is a big responsibility, but it's also a big joy. So again, we need to be mentor of our people, but on the other side, we also need to be mentored, so it will be a mutual enrichment. And I think we need to study a lot to be aware a lot of what's going on, so we cannot just say we have always been like this and we have always been doing like this. This is not going to work. But I think we should keep the enthusiasm and try to see, okay, what's coming next? Let's own it and let's make it the way we want to shape it.
Amazing. Sylvia, thank you so much for coming to Belgrade, for joining us on our podcast, and for having such a wonderful presentation on Shift Happens and what to do next.
Thank you very much, and thank you to every one of you.